While your side of the sidewalk.
While that may be true,
I'm just wondering.
municipalities still can enforce an ordinance
Okay.
requiring the property owner.
What I'm looking at is some, like in Chicago, a lot of times when they said, it's not my sidewalk. It's there, you know, and that's what I'm saying, is.
It won't
matter.
It won't do them any good.
Okay, well, I'm just, that's what I've had in the
Yeah,
past.
it won't matter.
So,
We'll have questions no matter what.
right.
My goal actually is not to get revenue out of this. The revenue would be peanuts. My goal is, and it's sad to say, I mean, 2 years ago when we were having this discussion, we really did want and did feel that we wanted to take on the responsibility of clearing the common areas. And I thought with promoting the Snow and Ice Shovel Act, that we could get the message across to people not to be afraid to shovel. And quite frankly, I think that is the issue with some people. I think some people just don't care. They don't care is what I have found to be evident of what I have dealt with in the staff. I ask you to put some merit on what I and the staff tell you because we're the ones that get the brunt of the phone calls. Or the people standing before them yelling at us, so. And then I want to use this to lead into another issue, which I had put in the packets before the snow thing blew out of proportion. I'm not going to beat it like a dead horse. It's up to the board. I'm just asking you to revisit it, and I think we should revisit it each year. Our residents don't comment or ask for a lot of changes necessarily. They may complain about things, but point blank asking for things. And so I pay attention when I get a finite exact thing mentioned repeatedly. It's not being demanded. I can't say they're coming out in numbers, but the issue has been brought up of us having an LED electronic readout sign in front of the village hall, which other government buildings have gone to, schools have utilized them for a long time. The one that has been brought up most recently is St. Gilbert's got a new one on 120 that's rather attractive. And it's another means of communication. It doesn't mean that everybody will listen, but it's something that's very visible. Most of the community goes up and down Hainesville Road. It is also, I want you to understand that most of the utility bills, the most popular way to pay a utility bill is still the drive-through drop box. They don't walk into the building, but they do utilize our drive-through, which means they would see the sign. So there are messages that could go on there, whether it's regarding the Holiday Lane parking issue, snow removal, announcing a candidates forum, reminders of the board meetings. There's some things that we may not want to be up there. We don't have to put everything up there, but it's certainly a tool. I am just asking that you think about it, and because we're at budget time, so if we're going to do it, now's the time. If we want to wait and explore it again next year, we can do that too. Any thoughts or comments?
I think it's an excellent idea. I think the big discussion was last year, we didn't have money for generators and something else came to my mind right away, which we ended up getting the generators and the other thing anyway. I'm sure that we can come up with the money. And I think it's an excellent idea. I think, you know, it's an easy communication. I'm not saying we're gonna spend $100,000, that'd be nice, so we're not spend that much.
It boggles my mind that we have something delivered to their homes and they don't read it. I mean, you know, to spend tens of thousands of dollars for something because they can't be bothered to read something that comes to their house or answer the phone to hear a message that we send directly to them, it just boggles my mind.
Georgina, mostly when people come in to pay their water bill, their newsletter is
There's a
still.
tip, yes, yeah, I know, I've heard that, and it boggles my mind.
Some of it is a generational thing too. You know, Trustee Garodowski wanted me to convey that he is in favor of the sign. He's always been in favor of the sign. John is certainly not a kid, but he's the youngest trustee on the board, and he's of more of an electronic age. John gets nervous when you hand him paper. He likes emails, he likes, electronic communications. So there's some people who just look for that. I'm kind of both. I am far from high tech. I certainly do value my emails. I certainly read my mail. But with me, I admit in juggling my family, I get forgetful. I have to admit, I appreciate the reminders on the school at the high schools. Because even though I've read the newsletter, I can drive by the high school and say, oh yeah, that's right, that athletic meeting is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I need to be there. So I think there is some merit to it. I don't think it's the answer to everything. So I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I just called the company that quoted us last year. I didn't do any more research, which we certainly can do if you want to revisit it. But we are talking under $20,000. So if you want to think about it and email your thoughts, or we know that Trustee Baranowski is in favor of it, Gary's in favor of it.
I'm not. I just consider that type of sign as an unattractive nuisance overall.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
The thing that I think about is we have to not put many things up there, because I notice that I go past Mundelein High School, and if they have a bunch of things, I don't stand there long enough to see what all the things are that they're putting up there. So,
Well, I agree with you. Some do it better than others. And I had provided some detail the last time. If you look at St. Gilbert's sign or even the Avon Township sign, they're not overwhelming at all. The high schools have some pretty overwhelming stuff at times. Grace Lake North, their, what do I want to call, or not artwork, but clip art on there is so busy, by the time that goes away, you've passed it before you can read the message, so I know what you're saying.
I think we have to be really careful, because it's got to be like one thing just sitting there, because even Walgreens, I can't see all the things they have on sale. I could get half a thing and I'm past it already. So that's something, if we're going to do with it, we have to be mindful of.
We could put an electronic stop sign out there too, so they have to stop and read it before they Well, it's told.
That may be one way to get a safe crossing. You may have something there, Jerry.
There you go.
Well, I think that Kevin is still struggling with his water heater and won't make it up here tonight, but I will check in with Kevin and also see how he feels. And,
My opinion, and I was an opponent of it last time, but, I can see some of its benefits, but I also can see that it might not, we might not be beneficial from people going by here, especially coming this way, I should say. When you're coming from 120 this way, you have a very short distance to Revis.
mhm. Correct.
So,
Yeah.
like Georgiana was saying, if you put a lot out there, you're not going to finish it. So you're not going to get the benefit coming from 120 to the village hall. But if you're coming south, okay, on Hainesville Road, that's a different story. You will see that side a lot further away and be able to take more information in.
And when you come in to pay your utility bill every month through the drive-thru, you will see it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're going to have the same message up there for the whole month, right? I mean.
No, it can be changed on a daily basis. The beauty of it is that it can be changed from a computer. So if you were going to have an emergency announcement, you could put it on that sign as well as doing a CTY call. If you wanted to have the candidates forum, you would post that on there. That could be there for 3 days, or it could be there a month.
Most of the times, our subdivision is taking a right going to Washington. Okay, I mean, basically, that's what it's from.
You don't go to Walgreens? Your people don't go to Walgreens?
I go to Walgreens maybe once every 3 months. Okay, coming to the village hall, drop off for meetings, that's about it. Most of the time, I would be going, out of some way. So, what I'm just saying is, maybe we should look at, maybe we can take, maybe do a survey or something, or just say, how
Well,
much
let me
time
ask you this.
are you going past?
All right, let me ask you this. What do you think about, how does everybody feel about asking about this at the town hall meeting?
That would be a great idea, yeah. I would say.
And do a mini survey? I don't think we're going to spend the time and money and effort. to
No,
do
I'm just
a full
saying, if we
survey.
can get a mini survey on what's going on, and just ask them which way they're going. When you're going out of your subdivision, is Misty Hills just going right out 120, okay, constantly, or which way, which directions are they going? And see what exposure you would get for that sign. And that's all I'm saying. But I do see its benefit because of the fact that I know, I've been seeing it, and I'm just saying, yeah, it would have been nice to just have that flashing up there instead of going like we're going to talk about the postcards and everything else. But, so, yeah.
This wouldn't be instead of the things that we're already doing, this would be in addition to.
No, it's in addition to, yeah.
So people that are complaining about the CTY calls are still going to get the CTY calls.
Well, people can opt out of a CTY call. The other thing that we plan on hammering definitely at the town hall meeting is to make people better aware that on the website, there's a couple features they need to understand. I don't think enough people understand the new contact system that they can sign up for. I think they have it in their head that if they're signed up for CTY, that they're automatically signed up to get an email if a new announcement is added. The other thing is people that signed up for CTY a long time ago, most people signed up, even though they had the option, they only put in their phone numbers, they didn't put in their email. We have, over 1,300 phone numbers in the system for CTY call. We have 114 emails. Okay, no, you're thinking of the other one for the announcements.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you're mixing them together too, okay? The CTY call that we sent today on the snow shoveling, that went to 114 people, okay? Then there's a separate new feature on the website that you can sign up for that anytime an announcement is added to the website. That's not a community outreach call, that's just a feature that you can get an email. So I tell people, if you don't like your phone ringing, you don't like the phone calls, you can take out your phone numbers and put in your email. We're not selling your email to anybody. It's kept private.
Chair, maybe that's a way to help our finance committee. Selling those emails.
He's in a sling, we can take it. Tonight.
I definitely want to drive that point at the town hall meeting, is, and ask them to say, well, maybe there's something we're missing, I don't know. I can't either.
Not going to be one, say, well,
Okay, well, I think we beat that one long enough, goodness. Let's move on to the standing committees.
That's me.
Yes, we're going to start with finance, trustee Daly.
I presented the budget to the Finance Committee tonight, and they approved it. They will come to the board. I think we were talking about it the next meeting, and then for approval at the first meeting in April. I was going to offer this to Gary and Kevin. If you have any questions about which way we're going prior to meeting, feel free to give me a call or meet here, and I can kind of give you some details of how we're going. That's the biggest thing we're working on, but it's moved along well.
Okay, excellent. It's been easier, definitely getting easier each year. Okay, Public Works, trustee Watkins.
I really don't have too much going on. We do have our Public Works meeting tomorrow night at 6:30 at the Village Hall. I know we're still waiting for Crystal Electric on the generators. As soon as it warms up a little bit, he's ready to do that.
Yeah, I talked to Eric yesterday. He has generators in the end of his shop. We're just kind of waiting for the weather to break a little bit. I'm very adamant that they're in before April, before our severe weather starts kicking up into gear. I want those here. He's hoping sometime next week. It's supposed to be end of this week, early next week. Every time that happens, we have a snowstorm on a Tuesday. So, but it's in the running real quick here. And as well, at that time, he's going to install the new LED Cobra heads. I've been receiving those as well. They're actually sitting at the shop. So hopefully, then we'll be dialed up within the next week here.
And for the record for the board, I had one of the trustees ask me, and I was remiss in giving an answer to this during the holidays. Trustee Daly was so kind to suggest the idea of me making the deciding vote on the two brands of Cobra heads that were presented to us. And after I reviewed everything, I recollected that actually both parties were supposed to provide references, and we did not have those. So I contacted both parties and asked them to provide references. And